We're into the last stretch of the first day, and we've got Jen who's going to come to the stage now. One of the things that has been very important, or been a big focus for us actually, has been member engagement. And you may remember that we've been doing a membership survey. We try to always get feedback. We've got feedback forms that we make available. We've got QR codes, I'll mention them again, on the table. We always want to get those feedbacks just to make sure that what we do for LINX is developing and going well. So we'll ask Jen to come up to the stage, and she's going to go through the member survey results and other aspects of member engagement.
Thanks, Jeremy. Almost stole all my content there with all that. Yeah, so hi, I'm going to run you through what we currently do with member engagement, how we get it, our plans for the future. So our members' opinions are obviously really important to us. We are a membership organisation, and it does bring with it responsibilities towards the members to ensure that we're delivering the value to you that we promise. And as you might imagine, we've got nearly 900 members, and I think in the room today and on the webcast, we're probably covering nearly 100. So whilst that's really great, and we really appreciate all of you guys being here, that still leaves a hefty 800 members that we don't get this opportunity to see face-to-face at these events in particular. And long gone are the days where we can rely on a mailing list to reach a significant number of people. So we do track this. We've got some lovely pie charts that we publish every month that say how many members we've engaged with. And we do set objectives for our teams to increase this engagement year on year. But as I said, we're constantly trying to think of new ways to engage with the membership to ensure that we're really covering as many members as possible. So why is this so important to us? Obviously, as a membership organisation, we can't just be acting in silo as a management team, as staff, as the board. We need to be listening to the members, and we need to be delivering what is valuable to the members. So we align that feedback with the strategy, which enables us to meet our goals, and we take on feedback and analyse it internally to see if there's any improvements or tweaks we can make. Obviously, engaged members are stickier members, as we like to say in sales. So those members that we have regular engagement with and we can actually interact with are we're more likely to retain that membership. So that's quite important to us as well. We don't like it if we haven't spoken to a particular member for a long time, because it's more of a risk for us. Obviously, the community building side of it is hugely important, and it's what makes us unique as an IXP and as a membership organisation, that we can get this community together to share thoughts, to share engineering practices, to listen to presentations. So that's hugely important. And advocacy, we want you guys to preach LINX to your peers in the industry as well. So it's very, as I said, it's really important for us. So just to quickly go over this, we will be launching a LINX community platform soon. All the departments in LINX have collaborated on this over the last few months to put it together. It's something we're going to try out. As I said, the mailing list only reaches so many people, so Ricardo's team have been working really hard on this to pull it together with marketing and the NOC and everyone really. So we're hoping to launch it early in the new year, so we'd like you all to go along and have a look at it, try it out. We're hoping that it's a platform for us to engage with you, but also for you to engage with each other, share ideas, have discussions, create, like posts, look for documentation. So that'll be coming in the new year, and it'd be really great for everyone to go and have a look at it. Some of the other engagement channels we obviously have the face-to-face meetings like this, but we also, as I'm sure you're aware if you follow any of our social media posts, we try to get out to as many events as possible. as budget allows, to meet those members who can't come to these meetings in London. So we've got 2 or 3 members of staff down in Cape Town at the moment at the AfricaCom event. So those meetings are really, really important to us. But we do also still pick up the phone every now and then. So if you get a phone call from us, it's not spam, it is somebody trying to reach you to have a chat about something. That's super important as well. As I'm sure you're all aware, we've got our Despro ticketing system that goes through to the NOC and to the sales team. That's probably our main method of day-to-day communications with the members. So our NOC are the frontline staff there that are engaging with the membership, and that's really important to us that we monitor that system as well. I've mentioned the mailing list and the membership survey Jeremy mentioned, various different online discussion channels that we try to monitor. As LINX comes up in community chats quite regularly, we like to try and keep on top of that feedback. And then the usual methods, the websites, social media platforms, etc. So this is obviously a lot of feedback that comes at us from all angles, really. So we collect all that feedback from members. And the idea is that we're going to, well, we have historically presented the membership survey at this meeting, the results of the membership survey. And we're very aware that the membership survey is a snapshot of feedback from the members, and we don't want to fall into the habit of relying on that one method of feedback each year to gauge the mood of the membership. So we've been running a member engagement insights program, whereas we take the membership survey and collate it with all the other feedback we've got for the year. And the idea is that the team will be able to collate that once a quarter and try and see trends and themes in that. And then each November we'll be able to present the trends and the feedback we've had. So this is what we've been working on all year, is actually the reporting and the processes and all you can imagine all the systems we have to put in place to make sure we're collating this. So we're really, the aim is that this time next year we'll be standing in front of you going, we've had this feedback and we're seeing these trends and etc. So this year's been a lot of process work to make sure that we're aligned with that, and we're actually, collating it and coordinating the information that we're getting. The reports we get at the moment, we can actually filter down as well. So we can filter down the members we're speaking to, and we can filter that down by types of engagement. So whether it runs from somebody's read the newsletter to somebody's come to the meeting today and has spoken to other members and staff. So we're really able to break that down and find out what types of engagement we've had. But we can also break it down into geographies. So we see that we obviously have very successful engagement with the members from UK and Europe, but we might not necessarily have as successful engagement with the members in Japan or in Africa. So we're able to spot gaps there and fill them so that our sales and marketing activities are actually filling where we're not reaching, rather than just, working on the same regions and the same areas. So just quickly to go through some of the channels that we do cover at the moment. So this is the traffic on the membership list over the past year. So over the years, this has got less and less. We tend to have peaks when something crops up. So in March, we had some discussions on the list following the LINX meeting. There was lots of constructive feedback for there, and also lots of supportive feedback as well. So it was really great to have these conversations so that we can pick on the information that's come out of this and follow up with the members concerned. And then again in May, as Peter said before, we made some changes to the MOU. So again, these discussions came up on the mailing list there. So yeah, you can see that the mailing list is still useful in its own way. But the majority of the time it is very quiet. So we want to find new ways to engage with the members. This is the Despro ticketing system that I mentioned earlier. So there's a number of tickets that go through this system. So if you email finance, that goes through the ticketing system. If you email the NOC, that goes through the ticketing system. Sales now goes through the ticketing system as well. So we can really track and report on the types of issues that are coming up, the types of queries that are coming up. And what you're seeing at the bottom there is a graph that when you close a ticket, you'll get prompted to say, how was your experience in this ticket? Was it good, bad, neutral, and those statistics get pulled for finance, sales and provisioning, so we're able to see there how we're doing. And these graphs are really good for us really to just spot the trends. You know, if there's a sudden, I mean, luckily we have lots of green on these graphs, which is what we want to see, but if that was starting to go a different way, then we'd obviously jump on that and we'd be able to pick up on any issues before they escalated. So yeah, the other feedbacks that we use at the moment, obviously the travels that you'll see on social media, the teams going out and about and meeting the members. We also each year, well, sort of throughout the year, conduct a series of member interviews, which are more in-depth conversations with members, either face-to-face or on the phone, and they're really useful. We'll ask members sort of what challenges do you see facing your business in the next couple of years, or what challenges do you face personally in the next couple of years. So it's not just a case of us saying, what do you want LINX to do? It's more of a case of us understanding trends in the industry and issues and complexities that are coming up and seeing if we can fit into that in any way. So we do reach out and do those, and then we also have a number of campaigns that run, such as trying to get our members to move on to 10 gig infrastructure. And all this feedback is captured in our CRM system. We have reports that are pulled on that, and the graph you're seeing at the bottom, I know it is a bit small, but the highest one was 200, and that was for September. So that can be a combination of members we've spoken to at events. These are notes in our CRM, so it's not necessarily members who have raised tickets, because that would be lots. But yeah, this is interactions that we've had with various members over the months. So that's quite interesting to see there. So our plans for next year, this time next year will be a party. It will be our 30th birthday party, so make sure you're all back here for that next year. That will be a great meeting. We're obviously going to continue with these meetings and also increase the number of local events we go to. So like I was saying before, we can filter down the engagement by region as well. So we're going to be able to cherry pick regions where we're not really reaching those members and try and get out and do those. We also hosted some really useful strategy sessions in the summer. So we had a number of members come and meet us at the London office to hear about the strategy and allow us to explain market conditions, explain all the work we do with market analysis and how that affects our strategy, our financial situation, the fact what competitors we're dealing with, all that kind of thing. So that was really interesting to do. And we also held an online version of it the same day, and we're planning to hold those sort of every 6 months so that everyone's got a chance to come along and hear a bit more about that in depth. And Curtis will be going over the strategy tomorrow for you all. Obviously continuing with the industry events, now that we're well and truly away from the C word, we are able to get back out there again and meet, and those really are the most valuable interactions that we have, because as you would have seen, the mailing list has spikes, but the number of times we're at an event, so the May spike in the mailing list, myself and Inga and Colin, we were all at ITW in Washington, and the number of members that came up to us and said, look, I can't post on the mailing list, I'm not allowed to write my opinions down because of company policy, however, and then they'd sit there for half an hour and actually talk to us about what they thought. So that was really good timing, actually, that the mailing list kicked off, because we were able to get lots of feedback face-to-face that those members wouldn't have had a chance to talk to us about, because their policies, their company policies don't allow them to put those thoughts into writing. So that was really helpful. So we'll continue that. Yeah, so we do various webinars ranging from different knowledge shares. We work very closely with systems network training on different trainings and knowledge shares that tend to be really helpful to the members. They find those useful, and the usual marketing stuff, really. So yeah, we will just quickly run through the member survey results for this year, as this is a part of the feedback we incorporate into our trend analysis. So you can see that huge spike in 2019. That's when John left, and he was very keen to get lots of engagement that year. So that was really good that year to get that spike. But again, we saw an increase in responses from last year. But it does show us that, you know, that was So on the left is the number of responses, on the right is the percentage of the membership that are completing this. So we're looking at about 17% of the membership completed this year, I think, which is brilliant, and it's really useful feedback for us to get, but we're obviously aware that we're missing a big chunk of the membership there. So it just reiterates to us that this is really useful, but how can we reach the rest of those members? This is our net promoter score. So it's dipped slightly from last year, but it's still really, really good for our industry. Our industry tends to be closer to sort of between 20 and 30%. So we're really pleased with that 64% there. The question, how do you think LINX has changed over the last couple of years? So we're obviously happy to see scores to the right-hand side of that graph, and the different colours are the different years there. So you can see that, since sort of 2019 onwards, it's been more to the improved side of things. The no opinion's a bit. we like members to have an opinion, but you know, if you don't know, you don't know, and that tends to be possibly members who haven't been with us for very long. We'll click on that, and then obviously we've got a handful of ones to the left-hand side that do tend to be, you know, individuals. There's 5% of the respondents there saying it's worsened, so it's 5% of 17% of the membership. But we do obviously look at all the comments that are put on them on these surveys and really go into them, and we've got a plan to even go through these comments at like an all staff meeting as well and just generate ideas from all the staff. So there's really useful comments there. This question was, how can we enhance your LINX experience and add value? And funnily enough, price reductions always comes top of the list, because I think it's top of everyone's list at the moment, is saving money. So that's the number of responses there. So we've got 18 members saying price reductions, and then followed on with getting more members. There's a couple of people there saying links between the different exchange points, portal improvements, etc., etc. So that's interesting as well. How satisfied are you with the clarity and effectiveness of LINX's communications? So again, nice to see lots to the right-hand side. I think people tend to put between 8 and 10. I personally hardly ever put 10 on anything, on any survey, so I'm quite pleased when we've actually got a significant number of 10s there, so that's good. The next one is asked to members who actually appear on our regional LAN, so members outside of London. So we're really pleased with the Manchester LAN at the moment. It's doing really well, it's thriving. There's lots of activity happening up there. Scotland's doing its thing as well and ticking along. Similarly with Nova. JediX will probably take out of the survey for next year because it's not actually a LINX platform. We just run it for Centre 3. And there's quite a lot of things that are outside of our control on that LAN in terms of inside the data centre, running cables, etc. There's only so much we can do there, but that's still a good score. And Wales, we're looking into all the time, obviously in Wales, trying to keep an eye on that market and see what else we can do to improve the peering for the few members that are out there, trying to make it a valuable option for them. So last slide here, just to reiterate how we use this feedback. It's really vital for us when we're making our decisions, making our strategy choices, as Curtis will say tomorrow. This can value as much as from what products Mike's looking at initiating, right the way up through to company strategy, different ways we communicate, for example. So we really take that into consideration. When we're discussing strategy, we pull member feedback, we pull market analysis, and then we are able to talk about the strategy. So yeah, that's important there. It's also really useful for us to spot trends in the industry. So our latest round of member interviews, one of the top issues that came out for the industry was talent and skills management, and all the members were just saying that I'm short-staffed, I can't get the recruits in, skills in the industry. So it's interesting to hear what issues the members are facing and trying to think how we can help with that. Obviously, that's not an easy one to fix, but there were some other trends that came out as well that we're looking into ways of helping if we can. And then obviously, the pain points of the members, how can we create additional value for the membership in what we do now or what we can possibly do in the future. And I think that's it. If anybody's got any questions on anything. James? Colin.
Hiya, sorry. The chart that had the what would you like to see, and the answer, the most popular answer was lower prices.
Yeah.
Was there a free text field for people to put any other options in other than what's there?
I'm looking at Kat.
Was a free text box that was completed, yeah.
Okay.
It was a free text box. It wasn't a click this. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks.
I couldn't remember. Any other questions on that? Rob?
Distracted me.
Thank you. Thank you for defining engagement a little better than the somewhat nebulous term. But are you specifically considering any interaction with a member as engagement, both good or bad, or through a response or a survey, and trying to just increase the number of members that somehow talk to LINX in some manner? You talked about difficulty of somebody in Japan in terms of the meeting, but of course it's 2:15 in the morning in Japan. It's a significant investment for that person to remotely attend the meeting, but they may well pick up the phone if you stay up until 2:15 in the morning and call them, or fire out an email saying, how can we help?
Yeah, what was the question in that?
How are you deciding whether it's an engagement? Is this any form of communication or specific?
So I deliberately didn't include these graphs because this is work that the team have been working on this year, which is it's been a long process. But if you look at our graphs at the moment, we engage with well over 90% in the membership. And what we're doing now is actually breaking that down into what we're calling meaningful engagement and just engagement. So obviously, if somebody gets sent our newsletter and they read it, that's engagement because they're still seeing our branding. They're being triggered to think about LINX. Is it meaningful engagement? Possibly not. Is this meaningful engagement? Yeah. So we're working on now breaking that down into different types of engagement and then where that meaningful engagement is happening, what sectors of the members. So obviously ISPs, do we have really good engagement with the banks that are members? Do we have such good? So yeah, we're really working on breaking that down and thinking of new ways to engage with those people who are on completely different time zones, for example. But funnily enough, Japan, Asia, we do actually get to 2 or 3 events over there each year as well. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Jen.